Hey everybody, Cineval here, the lead developer for Harmonia, and it is high time I released a video showing the new stuff I've been working on for the last few weeks. For the last month or so, everything has been gearing up to this. The combat engine has gone through a few overhauls for the better, in ways that make a lot more sense for a kind of a strategy-based battle system, like RTS-style thing going on. And let's just hop into it. I made a little account with 3 characters that I'm going to show off here, and apologies in advance. As of this morning, I am now sick, but I promised I was going to release a video today, and believe it or not, I am trying to stick to a timetable and actually crank this thing out, and hopefully rapidly approaching a demo at some point. But anyway, here we go. So, logging in. Here are my 3 characters. All the colors and everything were randomly generated just because I do not have a proper, whatchamacallit, a proper character creation thing yet. So here we've got Ron, Jim, and Bob. A fearsome threesome if I've ever seen them. So, if you'll notice, what's completely different before is now I'm actually using the mouse for virtually everything. I think in this demo I have to hit the space bar 2 times or something, because of an invisible door and an invisible go to next zone square. So, also, there are slimes everywhere in town because they are placeholder sprites. Obviously this is a young girl here. Oh, there she goes. So, Bob, Ron, Jim. So I'm going to have Ron take the point because Ron is our big beefy warrior dude, and he has the greatest defense of the bunch. So, the way this interface works, and I'm so happy that this finally works. I sketched it out ages ago, and now it's finally in. I'm so happy. Tears of joy. So you hold down the right mouse button, and then they have this nice little menu. You release your order. Boom, now he's following Ron. So I want Bob to follow Ron as well. Oop, I lied. I have to hit one more button. F, now he's flying. So, okay. Everyone's following Ron. Now I'm using WASD to move around. Button number 2. I guess I'm cheating by using WASD, but I'm not counting that as a button. And same for the camera. I'm using the arrow keys and plus and minus to zoom in and out. That is like normal. So, before we get into the thick of this demo here, I want to show off just how this new combat stuff works. So there are 2 ways you can do things. You can either click somewhere on the terrain and say I want to move here. Use item doesn't work yet. You can say I want to move here, or I want to attack. And when you say attack, it shows these little squares of which you can actually hit. At the moment there's nothing, but I can select something anyway, so that fuzzy squirrel. Okay, now what he's doing, and it doesn't yet visually show it, zooming in, zooming away in, doesn't visually show it yet, but he is doing a hold attack command, which means he's going to stay put here, and as soon as he can attack his target, he's going to stick around there. So, let's try this out. Just for the sake of argument, I want him to be here and attack the bunny. Let's pretend that this is an important position and we're fortifying ourselves, which does show up from time to time. Okay, cute bunny doesn't want to go over here. We'll move over here. Come on, cute bunny. Come on, cute bunny. Before there was a giant red arrow that was pointing at the target, but that got so annoying to look at, so at the moment that's gone. Oh, come on, come on. And if you get impatient, which I am right now, the alternative is, like you saw before when I had my bird and my centaur character follow Ron, is you can just right-click and hold on something and release on your command. In this case, I want to attack, what is this, fuzzy squirrel? Something like that? Alright, so now we're in combat. So everything inside this red arrow is, everything inside this red area is kind of like an RTS zone. Everything outside here, this is RPG land, everything in here is RTS land. What that means is you can't really use, I'm smashing WASD at the moment. That doesn't do anything because you can only move by giving orders. The stamina bar becomes absolutely crucial because that is when you can actually do a turn. The most important thing that happens here is that time goes, I believe, at 1/5 of the normal speed. So you actually, it's a bit of a quasi-turn-based thing. So if you watch my stamina bar fill up, I'm not going to actually do my command until it gets to the top. And there I go, and I run and I hit a cute bunny, which is hopping around, which is kind of right. Except it's a blue blob with a gigantic smiley face, which doesn't seem quite right. Okay, so now in addition to that, here are some orders to moving around. And by the way, I am not playing single player right now. I'm the only one here, obviously, but this is actually connected to a server, and with a ridiculous amount of lag. Like, I think there's a half second of lag, something like that. And because it's on the other side of the planet, I think. I don't know. But this is very good because I can still actually play the game. And everything that's happening when I'm moving around with WASD, that is that's all predicted beforehand, client-side prediction and stuff. And I wasn't kidding about being exhausted. I got sick today and it just totally hit me around 1 o'clock. But we will soldier on. So now I'm going to show off. Okay, I lied. More secret stuff. It's nighttime, by the way, so I have to light a torch. None of the inventory stuff is done yet, so I have to enter cryptic commands via this window. Apparently this is not a command. I am shocked at this revelation. But the torch was apparently hotkey G, and I just typed use G, which will turn the torch on and off. There will be a nice little window so you can manage all this. This is going to be pretty much unused unless you are really cool like me and just want to use it. Okay, so there used to be a castle up here, but at the moment the castle is cut, so instead here is an upcoming zone that's going to be a this will actually be the demo, I believe. This is going to be a sort of standalone I'm calling it the Path of Trials for now. You walk around and it generates a bunch of random battles in these rooms that are all square. It's an an 8-room area, 3x3 grid, and you just kind of walk around in a circle, and it's going to generate random battles as you go, and take advantage of the new crafting. I say crafting hesitantly. The new random equipment code, yeah, how about that? Which will also apply for mobs, so you will see a bunch of cool stuff. So everything in the zone is using an actual sprite, no placeholders. There are, by the way, still no lady sprites, still no female characters, just because I am lazy. Not so much that, it's because it takes an entire day for me to make a sprite, and I do not have the time. I'd rather be programming. So, okay. Here is a bad dude, as you can see by it clearly saying a bad dude. We are going to assault the bad dude with maximum aggression. Everything in here is level -1, which is quite low, but there's a very good reason for it to be level -1, and you'll see in a moment. This guy is not living very well. One of the things that needs to be finished, as you can see, there's the health bar, the mana bar, and the stamina bar, and it doesn't show exact hit points amounts. That's because it's not going to be right here, but when you are in combat mode, what I would like to have happen is to say combat mode is when you're following someone who's within the red area. I want to have a bunch of stuff show up on the side, on the bottom, and kind of make it look more like an RTS, so you have all your commands here in the corner. It shows your health and all that. And I also want to have a little window here that shows your party with all their health and MP bars, so you can monitor everything. There will probably be an option to just sort of sticky anything that you want here, in case you're playing with somebody else and you're heavily reliant on healers, and you need to make sure you're watching everybody's health a lot. I'm gonna go with a lot. That sounds like a good word. Okay, so next room. We are now fighting 3 bad dudes. New as of this build. This is finally a game where you are playing party against party. I'm having to rotate the camera a lot because I just haven't found a good balance between making it look visually good and letting you really control everything with the mouse. And I'm trying to concentrate and fight at the same time here. All this, by the way, is totally a prototype, I want to say. I've tweaked a few things around, but this is really the first time I've ever demonstrated it to anyone. So I'm ranting. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Maybe I'll think while I'm doing that. Ah, coffee brings me great joy. Yeah, anyway, this is a prototype, and a lot of the things will probably be changed around a lot, including, there's some pathing things that need to be fixed, just some random visual bugs here and there. It is a bit difficult to select things with the mouse, unfortunately, and following manually all the time is a bit wacky. I'm not a huge fan of that. There was one major thing that I wanted to mention. Oh well, it'll come to me. So, that first group, those were just with bad dudes, and if you were for some strange reason following all the combat spam going here, which will be integrated into the game more later, they use magic attacks, which are not... my poor warrior, as good of a meat shield as he is dumb, and he is not good at the magics, so he melts like butter when he's assaulted with the magics. Now, good thing I have a torch, because I need to see what's here in the battle. We've got a bad dude and 2 glass cannons, which is just our generic archer characters. So, let's just assault the bad dude head on and see what happens. So the archers... Oh, whoa, flying way over there. The archers are obviously attacking us from afar. If you look at this... Well, okay, not so obvious. They have a whopping range of 2, whereas normally it's 1. And, this may not seem like a lot, but that's different. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Apparently they can fly. This is, cool. Are they dead? What? This is genuine confusion. Okay, we're gonna improvise. Yeah, wow. Okay, apparently we've evolved into Dragon Ball Z style battles here. I have no idea where anyone is. But, I think I just killed a glass cannon. I am so confused. Best explanation I can think of is something in the jumping animation screwed up and he flew way up high, which meant that the other character needed to fly way up high as well. If I move, will it reset? It will not. And then it just kind of snowballed from there, and now my poor bird soldier is flying into space at all times. Well, you know, he'll eventually figure things out. Let's just pretend he's not there until he comes back. Okay, I finally remember with this little debacle what was actually, what I wanted to say. Everything that I've been doing so far has been stuck in RPG mode, where it makes perfect sense that the camera follows you along everywhere, and it's nice and smooth and no complaints here. But suddenly when you're in combat, you don't want to have the camera lock into everything right there. So, still trying to come up with a solution to that. I think I'm going to have a button that switches between free look camera mode and the other thing, follow your guy. He's still in space. That's cool. I'm so baffled beyond words. But yet I'm saying words anyway. Okay, so what do we have here? A flighty, an armored doofus. Trust me, he's a doofus. And I believe one more guy over here. Oh, it doesn't matter, we're already fighting. So, as you can guess, the flighties are flying characters, so they can fly over the water. Something to consider strategically. Sorry if all of the constant rotating the camera is driving anyone nuts, but at the moment it's kind of a necessity, and it's fun. Check it out. Wee. Okay, that's enough of that. Flighty needs to go. So something that's also new, and I'm very happy about... Okay, meanwhile back at the ranch. Something that's new and I'm very happy about is that... if my brain will work for just a moment... What kind of weapons do I have? Do I have any ranged weapons? No, it seems to be all normal. Something new that I'm very happy about is movements and attacks are now joined in the same order. They are part of the same action. The way that works is... excuse me, had to burp for a second there. The way that works is, when you tell somebody to move, it moves as much as it can, and if you have any stamina remaining left over, then it executes the attack. But if you run out of stamina, that is if you go below 0, which is the bar there, let's just zoom in a bit, which is the blue bar, then you have to wait until your stamina recharges to full. It's kind of like an action point system, but it's not quite as precise. One thing that needs to happen is it needs to show how much you will actually perform in one turn. Still flying? Still flying. Because what if I stop? What if I hit F? Ah. Okay, now you should fall to the ground faster at least. Okay, Bob. Your space adventure is not lasting longer. Oh, okay. Completely forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't really matter. I'm ranting anyway. So, Bob is away, but we have Jim and Ron holding down the fort. So, next battle. There are, I believe, 8 battles here. So, this is in Swamp. There are 2 priests, an armored doofus. Something about the armored doofus that we need to know. This is just a generic warrior, like Ron here. Completely different color set, of course. But he has all of his stats pushed way towards defense. So he doesn't hit very hard, and he will just take a beating before something really happens. Everybody's obviously moving ridiculously slow here in Swamp. Bob? Are you doing anything? The height doesn't actually do anything. It's purely cosmetic, but I just don't want to actually have to deal with that guy. He's our comic relief. So Jim is not doing so well. Why is Jim not doing so well? The priest AI, and by the way, he is the slowest moving character in Swamp in the entire planet. Centaurs do not like rough terrain. And he's dead. So I'll be able to show that off in a bit. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so the priests, in addition to just having basic healing ability, they also have something they're using right now called Smite, which has a random chance, well, I guess it's a coin flip, really, of doing tons of damage or doing none. And it is a holy attack, so it's powerful against undead. And like attacks in this fashion, the odds are higher in their favor the dumber the opponent is. And intelligence and resistance are different stats altogether. Resistance being magic resistance, and intelligence is how much MP do you have, and how well... And that also functions as magic evade. By the way, you regenerate hit points while you're over here. Okay, it looks like Bob is going to do something after all. Well, this is going to be silly. Okay, Bob. I guess attack that. Okay. This is a good chance to show this off. So now when characters die, they aren't just sent back to home. They go to this little thing where you can revive them. So what you can do is you can either send them home. It shows a little map of where they are here when the mouse is over it. It is incredibly bogus looking. Oh look, Ron died. Poor Ron. At least Bob is holding down the fort from space. You can either revive from the last sanctuary point, which in this case is the church, and it doesn't look very cool. You can revive where he died, and it shows a redundant little image of what the map is here. And because this is a safe place to do it, we are going to revive where he died. Normally, if you do that in the middle of combat, you are going to have a bad time. What's happening here? Apparently he's just taking it for the team and getting smoten? Past tense? Brain freeze. Okay, coffee drink. Coffee drink. Ah! Okay. We are back. But where is Bob? Okay, anyway. Now that this is a, like a party-on-party system, it's kind of ridiculous to have this, this concept that when somebody dies, they are just sent back, or they lose all of their equipment, or anything like that. So, anytime somebody dies, you can now revive them where they were killed. But that's generally a dangerous thing to do unless you have actually won the battle, because they start with a gigantic stamina penalty, as in, and I think it'll take a full 15 seconds before they can move again. If they're in a combat zone, that also means they won't have any hit points regeneration, and they start off with 1 hit point and no mana. So basically they'll just get killed again. And at the moment there is an experience penalty for that. So we are now fighting on a bridge. Our poor Jim is trapped, but he is going to fight the bad dude. And I guess he just decided to untrap Jim. That was rather kind of him. We're going to take on the glass cannon. So the glass cannon is what you think he is. He just took 18 damage, which is obviously, like, what, 95% of his health? He is not going to be alive for much longer. Okay, Jim is now going to run away so Ron can join the fray. Okay. But the glass cannons, like as you would imagine, have absolutely no health. So I'm running Jim away simply because, he missed his smite because he ran away before the spell finished. Spell finished. Words, they are difficult. I ran him away because smite is not very kind to centaurs. The centaur knight character, they are, well, dead, and basically the beefy hitters that ever beefed. They are the strongest characters, but they have absurdly low magic resistance. So they can take everybody out that, they can take everybody essentially but warriors out because their defense is so high. But if you have any magic user or a soldier who can use a magic attack, they can just swiftly take care of knights. So everything is situationally useful. There's no just flat out, he is a hitter, he is a magician, and so on. So a few rooms left. Is Bob still a space cadet? I am so confused. Where is Bob? I wonder, If I... No, You know what? Oh, you know what? That totally should have done it. Okay. Yeah, so that's a bug. I'm obviously going to fix that later. Okay, so next room. This is probably going to be where we see our demise. Good thing everything is level -1, or else everything would really... I would not win. That's what I'm getting at. So priests are actually, for this group, actually the most dangerous thing we can encounter because of that smite ability. Normally, with like a normal class like a soldier, it's not that big of a deal because their MP is better spent actually attacking. And you know what? I need to take out this glass cannon. Fighting the warriors first is stupid just because they're going to tank and absorb damage. And look, he's already gone. The other one. Oh. Yeah, I need to fix this camera stuff. This is so annoying. Critical hits. They are my favorite. Will Jim make it? Better yet, will Jim actually attack? Yeah, there's still unfortunately a few bugs, including Space Cadet Bob over here. So confused. I wonder if I can just fly him out, and as soon as he teleports, if we'll be in the right spot. But, let's go back here. Okay, I'm getting Ron out of there. Jim can hold down the fort. Okay. Okay, Bob. Epic space mission. Eventually... Yeah, there you go. Oh, here's Ron. That was not the character I wanted to control. Okay. Will this do anything? It will not. I wonder if he just flat out dies if I can do something. That's such a shame. Well, he flies, he's a bird soldier, doesn't really matter. This brings us to our final room. No test would be complete without a instant murder death room. So, let's just bonsai into here. What do we see? Not much because of all the forest here, which we can't even see because it's not the nighttime. So, we see there's a bad dude, an armored doofus, and a bad dude. Well, we don't want to attack the armored doofus because he's just going to absorb all the hits, so let's attack the bad dudes. And... oh dear. Oh gee, golly gosh. It appears we are in trouble. There is 1, 2, 3. Jim has already fallen. There's basically a million things here that want to hurt us. In the daytime, you'd be able to see that a lot better. As a matter of fact, before things get too rough, don't mind me doing super secret stuff. I'm logging in a god character in another window, and he's going to make it daytime. And we're just, for the sake of argument, is it noon? And now it's noon. Okay. We're just going to revive them where they died. Okay. Not Bob, obviously. But, yeah. We saw it for a second. Now we're reviving back at the inn. So, that is pretty much everything. Still a lot to do, but a huge leap forward. And I want to take that area. That's just a very temporary thing. Hey, this is a bug too. I am well aware of this one though, so I'm just going to sweep that one under the rug. Plenty of stuff to do. The invisible door needs to show up. Lots of bug fixes, which is just par for the course. This is extremely new stuff. Inventory is not yet there, and I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I actually made a list for myself, and it is very sad. I'm a very busy person nowadays. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this little test. I am going to go get myself killed. Not Bob. Bob, actually, no. I would like Bob to get himself killed, but I don't want to have to deal with that. So, we're going to fight a hopeless battle. That is a citizen. He died a lot. Okay, 1 damage. We can do this. 19. Come on, Jim and Ron. You can take this guy out. I don't believe in you anymore. Alright. Hope you had fun.